Hello everyone, this is Zwaxor of SolForge Team A1 Alliance, and welcome back to the campaign videos. This time around we're doing Alloyin Mastery, and I'm going to apologize ahead of time. I already did it, but on the recording the sound was horrible and the deck I played was slightly too powerful for the challenge, so the video got very short and stuff like that. So I'm gonna replay it, and I hope that all the voice stuff is still there. Anyway, the deck I'm playing is this time without legendaries or heroics completely. This is an Abominations deck, basically, and it employs cards like Charnel Titan, Abyssal Maw, and Scythian Direhound as sort of its main engine to reduce the strength of opposing creatures and summon large creatures like Charnel Titan and Scythian Rotfiend to sort of make some favorable trades. Uses cards like Dr. Frankenbaum, Graveborn Glutton, as well as Howl of Sith to sort of try and win the game. And then it has these very good late game engines in the form of Ebonbound Warlord, which, as you saw in, I believe it was the Terra Mastery video, you saw this card do some work as an underdrop in that it only works if its level is lower than the rank you're currently in. And then you have Darkshaper Savant, where since the deck is completely all Nekrium, even though this is a zombie and Ebonbound Warlord is a vampire, I might as well play this because this is one of the best non-heroic, non-legendary enablers for a mono-faction deck. The whole cycle of Savants is. Darkshaper Savant is arguably the most powerful of them all because the lasting effect is very, very valuable. And what it does, it gives -3/-3, or -5/-5, to an opposing creature whenever you play a Nekrium card that's lower level than itself at levels 2 and 3. And that's about it. And then I just fill the deck out with cards like Howl of Sith, which is just a card you should be playing in any Nekrium deck pretty much, because it's just such a powerful late game option to have if your opponent is at low health, and you've sort of your aggression has sort of ground to a halt. You really can't just get those last points of damage in. Having Howl of Sith available to draw is just that valuable. And then you have a 1-off Bitterfrost Totem because playing 3 Howl is slightly too much because they do clog up your hand early in the game. And they don't really do anything unless they're actually killing your opponent. Bitterfrost Totem is similar to Ebonbound Warlord in that it is at its best when played under-leveled, and that combos very well with Darkshaper Savant, just like Ebonbound Warlord does, in that you want to be playing them under-leveled. And again, the rest of the deck is just these solid Abomination cards with Dr. Frankenbaum, tying the theme together and sort of finishing the opponent slowly while you just make trades. So we're gonna play this. Oh, good, it's still there. I love a good fight. Time to dust off the old hammer and demonstrate Alloyin tactical and technological supremacy. Okay, so we have Ironbeard, Hammer of Anvillon. He is the leader of the Alloyin capital of Anvillon. He was once just a warrior. Actually, one of the player avatar I'm using is actually an image of Ironbeard before he became a Forgeborn and this great robotic sort of leader. He was good friends with Killian in his youth, I believe, and so that's all nice. And what he does is, Ironbeard is a brilliant tactician and strategist whose only concerns are for defending Anvillon and the SolForge. The Steel Collective general of his Forgeborn is usually seen donning his Scythian armor and wielding his signature hammer Anvil Breaker. Ironbeard inspires his troops in battle, bolstering their attack. As you can see, Technosmith is normally a 2/2 card, but right now it's a 4/2. So he basically gives all his creatures +2 attack when they enter the field. Again, I played this already, unfortunately, so I know most of this stuff. And there's also one other thing that he does, which is very interesting. See, I play this to block here, because Scythian Rotfiend is a card, whenever your opponent plays a guy in front of it, it gets -1 attack, and -1 health, and that sort of increases as it levels. So what you want to do is get a block in immediately on a creature as big as possible. So when I play this, there's a message. Coward, if you refuse to deploy your creatures into the same lane as mine, I will give them something to fight. And so he summons this 3/1 soldier guy in front of my creature. And it even triggers the Rotfiend, so that's not very good. The problem is here, this card has overload, so I don't really want to play it because it doesn't increase my deck strength for level 2. And neither does this. This just doesn't level. And we have Group Meal, which isn't very powerful when I don't have creatures on the board. So we're just leveling 2 Rotfiends here. actually go ahead and see. Oh, wrong button. I can actually go ahead and see what did he level with his Technosmith. He leveled Spirit Steel Infiltrator, which is a card that becomes more powerful if it has 5, 10, or 20 or more attack. It gains mobility and armor. With the ability of his hero, his character, that's very powerful. He played Scythian Battlesuit on the Soldier, plus 5 attack and armor 1 to an Alloyin creature, which means to trade it with my Rotfiend. Right. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to play Graveborn Glutton, and then I'm going to level this Darkshaper Savant. Attack for 4, pass the turn. This is going to get annoying. I can feel it. So I'm going to be tricky here. Play Frankenbomb in front of this creature first, and then afterwards play Abyssal Maw and remove the general, because this way he doesn't get the free soldier. And then just attack his face. Technosmith. What did he level this time around? He leveled another Scythian Battlesuit. Okay. So the plays I can make here. Charnel Titan is actually not doing a lot against him right now. No, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this. Ugh, that just feels bad though. No, I am just going to play. I really can't decide, to be honest. I really cannot decide. Do I want to go Frankenbomb or not? I don't think so. I think I'm going to go Darkshaper here and then play Group Meal. Group Meal reduces the attack of his creatures by 2 and increases the one of mine by 2. Which means this sets up a straight trade. Yes, Scythian Infiltrator, similar to Spirit Steel Infiltrator, but it just gains Breakthrough if it has slightly more attack than it starts out with. So it's a very powerful card in general. So what does he target this time around? Levels a Hinterland Watchman. That is a legendary card. Again, similar to the Infiltrators. This guy gains mobility at level 1. He gains mobility and armor at level 2, and then he gains armor, breakthrough, aggressive, mobility, and regenerate at level 3. So basically every ability. Pretty much every ability, anyway. So here we're going to play Scythian Rotfiend, because that's my leveled card, and then play this Abyssal Maw. Get a soldier. This hand is very powerful. Does a lot of things. Plays a Battlesuit, that's fine by me. Alright, so I'm going to play this Graveborn Glutton blocking here, and then Darkshaper Savant getting a soldier in front of it over here, and then deal 18 to his face. So we're pulling ahead here with this completely unlegendary and unheroic deck, by virtue of just having these very strong cards in it. It's interesting that he chooses not to block any of my creatures. I might just be able to kill him here, though. If I play Group Meal, currently I have 23 damage. If I play Group Meal, that's plus 6, because it's plus 2 for each of my creatures. So that's 29. Howl of Zith deals 8 damage to him, as is. So, I can actually just finish the game here. And I would be dumb not to do it. So I'm going to play that. I'm going to use this trigger to reduce him. I'm going to play Howl of Zith, targeting my opponent, use the trigger to reduce him, and then press battle. And that's the game. So, still quite fast. He couldn't really keep up with the things I was doing. It seems to me like all these campaign missions is just a lot about positioning your creatures correctly, sort of knowing the strategy of your opponent. Going into this match, I did know basically what Ironbeard was about, which is both that his creatures have high attack and also the fact that he summons soldiers when you empty lane your creatures. But that basically meant that I knew that in order to get the most value out of my cards, I would just simply have to make trades, because then just trade up, basically, because that would mean that the high attack of his creatures wouldn't really matter, and at the same time I would get to trigger as few free soldiers as possible. So that was sort of the overall strategy. So that's a quick thing that everyone can sort of learn a bit from when you guys go to play this campaign mission for yourself. As for next time, I've actually heard that the Korok one, the the Tempest Mastery should be quite difficult. So I'm going to look forward to that. But if you enjoyed the video, please do remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, favorite the video. Leave a comment if you want to see anything more, if you want me to explain more things, or maybe play an even worse deck in order to make the challenge more real. But past that, yeah, go follow me on Twitter, go follow me on Twitch for all sorts of interesting SolForge content and related tweets. And also go check out a1sf.blogspot.com for a bunch of very in-depth SolForge strategic content from the best SolForge team out there. And also look forward to the A1 Arena starting this coming Thursday at noon Pacific Daylight Time. And it will feature me as well as another A1 player in the booth, and a match between a third A1 player. And this week's challenger is going to be Evil Weevil 666 of Team Dox's Socks, one of the one of many high profile players on that team. So that is going to be quite interesting. Look forward to that. And past that, there's nothing left for me to say but stay classy, Forgeborn.